Hi, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, I'm going to be talking about the Liberty Evolve 84. This is a ski that was sent to me by Liberty, but I'm still going to give you my completely honest opinion. I skied these in a 179, which was pretty much perfect. A big shout out to Liberty. Thank you for sending me skis, being willing to kind of go through the gauntlet of Rickety Ski Reviews. I have a lot of respect for companies that do that, and there are a ton of companies that aren't willing to. I'm looking at you, Stokely and Nordica, you big cowards. But we're not talking about those companies today, we're talking about Liberty. This is what they call their VMT 3.0. It's a blend of poplar, bamboo, and paulownia wood. They also have carbon stringers that run through kind of the tip to tail. Similar to the Elan, but not the same, I guess, in that like the Elan ones are poles, these are stringers. These skis have a 17.5 meter turn radius, and this weight in the 179 comes in at 1,710 grams. My first impressions with these skis were that some of their strength kind of lie in the dampness. A really big strong point, and probably the first thing I noticed with the ski. But unfortunately, the other thing I noticed right away, with this being a carving ski, I'm gonna be focused on the carving. The carving is kind of unimpressive. You load up this ski and it doesn't quite kind of arc off the end of the turn. It just kind of keeps sailing straight through, similar to an atomic bent, but almost worse. The construction and chatter prevention is really tops on this, and there's really good poppiness if you're somebody who likes little jumps, little kickers, but the carving felt very old-fashioned, felt like a very old ski. But now that we've got first impressions out of the way, let's talk the good, and then we'll talk about the bad. The good with this ski, honestly, is that this ski was fun to jump on. And I also found that making little hop turns off trail was actually really fun. So, you know, for that, I think this ski deserves a lot of credit because it really performed well in that way. The other good thing is I feel like the construction, like I said before, it does a really good job preventing chatter. It has a couple of strong suits and a couple of things that you can really commend for its construction, but that's unfortunately kind of where the good ends in my opinion. Now let's talk bad. I honestly have been really hesitant to shoot this part of the video because a lot of companies don't like hearing this stuff, but I don't know, I don't care. I care more about the truth about how skis feel on your foot. I care more about being honest to you guys. So Liberty, you know, maybe sit down before you watch this, but there's a lot of things that this ski needs fixed in order to like really contend with other carving skis. When you got it on edge, I'm not sure if it just needs more camber or if the sidewalls need to be larger, but this ski really washes out once it gets to a certain angle of turning. For most people, maybe they'll never see that. Like if you're not really loading up the ski, you may not care. But for me, when I load up the ski, I was very limited in the kind of shapes of turns I could take. So you've got limited range of turn shape you can make. You've got limited edge angles you can put on. For a carving ski, that's not acceptable. A carving ski really should be able to lay it on and get in deep when you're making turns. This ski, yeah, it pops, but if you're buying an 84 underfoot carving ski, it needs to be able to carve better. This ski really has no excuse for how limited the carving is. If you keep it inside of its range, it does feel sturdy, like it's a nice and stiff ski. There's not a lot of chatter, but the limited range and how easily this ski washes out, this was really unpleasant to carve on. I also took it in the trees. Granted, it wasn't great weather for the trees, but you know, 84 underfoot, it's not gonna be floating in the powder or anything. It was okay in the hop turns, but as soon as the snow got stiff, these skis really failed at latching on an edge and getting a good turn. I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't enjoy skiing on these. I felt like at the end of the day, I just wish I'd been on anything else. I don't think that these are a total loss. Like, I think that there's some really cool things going on with what the ski is made out of on the inside, but the shape of the ski and the sidewall and the camber is really lacking here. They're fun to hop around on, and I get that that's kind of Liberty's main identity, But if you guys are gonna make a carving ski, you need to get somebody involved who actually knows how to carve. This feels like somebody who kind of sits in the back seat and washes out their turns design these. Because if you do that, they feel okay. But if you're somebody who's like really loading up the ski and putting it on edge, you're gonna be let down turn after turn, because not only did the ski, like I said, wash out from underneath me, but it also just could not get certain angles. It would just kind of drift off in the turn. I don't think that I could really recommend these to anyone other than somebody who's primarily hopping around in the park and kind of likes carving. There might be a handful of people that applies to, but I think most people who are looking for freestyle skis are gonna be looking for something else. Liberty's other skis in the wider widths, I think probably people are gonna gravitate more towards. I think it's great that Liberty is trying to make a carving ski, but you guys, you gotta get somebody more involved that really likes carving, because these really failed the carving test in my opinion. For jumping around, yeah, like A+, if that's all you really care about and you don't need those big edge angles, if you're somebody who likes relaxed turns and hopping around, hey, these are a lot of fun in that way. But for somebody who likes to load up a turn, really get my energy back out of the turn, these were very, very disappointing. I would not recommend these to people who really care about carving. So that's the bad. I'm sure Liberty won't be happy. This may be the last pair of skis I ever get sent by them, but I wanna be honest with you guys, and I wanna be honest with Liberty. If they wanna make a good carving ski, I think that's the only way to do it. They need to know what's going on with this Evolve series so they can improve and go forward. When you look at price, $729 is also very expensive for a ski that doesn't carve well. It's okay overall. If it was competing with other skis, it'd be right in there in the mix. Values, not great on these. $729 is still pretty expensive for what feels like a rough draft of a carving ski. As far as who's this for, like I said, if somebody who really likes jumping and park and only kind of, 20% of the time cares about carving, this ski probably would be pretty good for you. I could see somebody on the East Coast who doesn't want to have a lot of chatter, who likes to hop around. This might be a lot of fun. But for the average all-mountain carving connoisseur, probably stay away. So finally, let's put a score on these. I think that given that these are fun to jump around on, and because they're kind of lightweight and flick around and they do some okay things with dampness, they're a suitable ski for somebody. But in my opinion, I wouldn't recommend these to anyone that I know that really loves carving. So for me, I'm gonna give this ski a 5 out of 10. I really don't think there's any excuse for like the lack of camber or the lack of sidewall or just the inability to kind of get those turns really on edge. And I think if you really care about carving, you're gonna want something else. Like I said before, if you're really into just jumping around and having fun and you only wanna carve 20% of the time, there's something here for you. This ski isn't for nobody, but I think for the average person who's looking for a reliable carving ski, this isn't really scratching that itch. So I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. I feel like that's pretty generous, all things considered, and I'm really taking into account that there are people out there that this is suitable for. But for me, I didn't enjoy skiing on these when I was carving. I only enjoyed them when I was hopping around. That's my honest review. I think the ski has some cool things going on with construction. I think that they should keep making carving skis. I know that you don't have like a race team, right? A lot of these carving skis have race skis that they can base their construction off of, and I know Liberty doesn't have that. They're a small company. But I think you guys need to get someone more involved with carving if you're gonna make a carving ski. It's like the same as if some of those flagship brands try to make freestyle skis, they get freestyle skiers involved. I think you guys should do the same. Anyway, I'll put a link down below. If you're really set on these and you want to support the channel, you absolutely can. Liberty, I give you guys a ton of respect for sending these. I don't want to discourage you, but I want to be honest. When something's lacking, I gotta let you know. So that's my honest review of the Liberty Evolve 84. So anyway, that's the end of the review. I know 5 out of 10 isn't something that any ski company wants to hear, but I think that you guys have a lot of value in what's going on inside of the material of the ski, and I think it's a good platform for you guys to build off of if you decide to make some changes going forward. So that's my honest opinion. That's my honest review. If you're dead set on buying these skis, I'll put a link down below, and that helps support the channel if you're interested in that. But otherwise, just thank you for watching. This was a really hard video to make, but I'm not gonna give you guys any baloney. This is not a ski I would wanna own or that I would recommend to a friend. I think that they've got something going on here, but it just wasn't for me. So anyway, if you like this kind of content, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps my channel out a lot, but more than anything, just thank you for watching. I know that this is a maybe lesser known brand, but I wanna give these brands a chance to shine as well, because I think it's important for the health of the ski industry in general. So Anyway, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.